AskReddit by Janelle Garfield. People who don't drink alcohol, why? 5 years ago I was diagnosed with liver failure from drinking too much. Stopped drinking and now no longer qualify for a transplant because you're no longer ill enough to require a new organ. How I did it. 1. Stopped drinking. 1. Started following liver specialist directions. 1. Recovered from jaundice that was so bad I was orange. 1. Lived in pandemic conditions a full year before the pandemic. 1. Went bankrupt from hospital bills. 1. Waited 18 months to find out I'm also anemic because blood cells are dying too quickly. 1. Supplemented with lots iron. 1. Drank only filtered water and started walking after 2 years of no energy. 1. Started medical cannabis and serrapeptase, a scar reduction enzyme. 1. Increased steps per day from 150 to 15k steps gradually. Daily goal is only 7k now. 1. Feeling better than in the past 10 years. Also stopped smoking 6 over a decade ago. Wow. Good for you. Keep up the good work. Grew up a nerd, so didn't touch the stuff when I was young. When I was old enough to drink, I was old enough to see how many alcoholics were in my family. Finally, every doctor I've ever told I don't drink has replied good. Not a doctor but liver. I hardly know air. Hard liquor every night. Started to see dependence setting in and stopped enjoying it, and started to interfere with work. Final straw was when I went to the hospital for severe withdrawal symptoms. I'm about 3 weeks and not a drop. Going to rehab for a month in a couple days for a month. Wish me blessings. I'm in the same boat. I've been tapering for about 8 days now. Was doing a pint a night plus anywhere from 6-12 beers a night as well. Woke up with breathing issues, manually gasping for air, heart palpitations, awful anxiety, shaky hands until I could fix it instantly, in the morning, with 1 shot and 2 beers, and continue that through the day. The withdrawal has been a process, but I'm down to 2-3 beers and about 1-2 shots now as of last night and tonight. Keep on keeping on, my friend. Long family history of people dealing and failing to control their alcohol addiction. So the best way to make sure this won't happen to me is to avoid it as much as possible. Same. My father's side, father included, are alcoholics. And with my depression, it's just not a good idea. Deleted. To put it another way, I have no reason to drink alcohol. Reasons not to drink. I hate the taste. It's too expensive. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I have too many alcoholics in my family. Reasons to drink. None. Results. Easy choice. Cause I'm sober. For 20 years. Edit. Wow guys, thanks for all the love. I'm pulling for every one of you. It's such a different life. It's a cool place to be at 56 years old. Thank you all. I'm a couple days shy of a month off of booze. I'm really only California sober, but ISTG smoking weed does not make me even 5% as useless as drinking. Also finally started the nicotine patch. Productive summer lol. Edit. Thank you to everyone that sent well wishes. Today was day 30. I'm trying not to really make it a thing in my personal life and I've only mentioned it to a handful of friends, so it's nice to hear others' experiences and give kind thoughts. I'm a 47-year-old alcoholic with 4 years sobriety. People normalize drinking way too much. Congrats. I have 5 months. 6 months on the 11th, God willing. People like you are an inspiration. I'm always scared to not feel well and I don't like the feeling of not being able to control my thoughts very clearly. Yes, same. Hate being out of control. Because I'm allergic. Break out in handcuffs, misdemeanors, and felonies. Yeah, no. Edit. Thank you for all the responses. They were great and I did not expect it to blow up. In all seriousness, I've lived that life and let me just say that it's not a life worth living. At 20 years old and 3 DUIs, life questioned me, to which I had no answer. On the 13th of May, 2011, I decided to break the vicious cycle of alcoholism that has cursed my family for generations and has taken so many of their lives. I thank God every day that my daughters have no earthly idea what it's like to grow up in a house with an alcoholic. Sobriety is the strength of the soul, for it preserves its reason unclouded by passion. Pythagoras. Tears, fights, etc. etc. I used to. Now, I don't like the way it makes me feel. My kidney is hurt afterward. The way I feel during after drinking is drastically different in my 30s than it was in my 20s. Hangovers can last days and, like you said, internal organ pain becomes a thing. Because addict. Any substances spiral real quick into all of them at once and my life in the bin on. What up team dumpster fire? I find drunk people ridiculously annoying. The longer you're sober the more apparent this becomes. Also people who say I'm actually smarter when I'm drunk high. No you're not. Wastes money. Causes headaches and beer belly. Makes people unsafe drivers. I've seen how it ruined my boyfriend's life before he died. Emphasis on the beer belly. I've noticed how many of my friends from college have ballooned in size and the number one cause I can deduce is alcohol beer consumption. Simply not interested. I'm already mentally and physically disoriented 24/7. Don't want to experience it even more. It was meddling with my medication. This for me as well, and with as expensive healthcare and medication costs are, no way I'm messing up my health with some overpriced spicy poison water. Why would I drink? Basically my response when someone asks me why I don't lol. Because I don't want to and that's the only reason I need. People who don't play football, why? You don't dance Macarena in the shower? Please explain. Why aren't you eating sushi right now? Because I like my liver. Because I used to drink a lot and loved it. So much where it was time to break up and go our separate ways. Because it's poison. It's called intoxication for a reason. Tummy hurt. Poopy squirt. Hangovers aren't worth it at all. And my nerves get really sensitive whenever I drink. Not to mention it takes days for my bowels to go back to normal. Alcohol is the only drug. If you don't partake, people think there is something wrong with you. Your body rejects alcohol. It hates it. I realize the cheeky answer from the brewsters would be, well mine doesn't. Not true. It does. Not only is alcohol literally poison, it can strip your body of valuable nutrients and has a great effect on the CNS. With all of that said, have I drank? Yes. Probably more than a small village. But I can say, every bad decision I have ever made I was intoxicated. One day, I just decided to stop. Best decision I have ever made. My wife still drinks but I have zero desire based on my past experience. If I even have a tiny sip anymore, I feel a bit ill. Not for me. Caffeine is one they don't get, either. People will let it go eventually with other stuff but they just don't get caffeine and God forbid you don't like the taste of coffee. RNXIETY. I'll have a drink casually when out and enjoy fun cocktails. But nothing beyond that. Makes me so anxious on the come down. I will once in a while but I don't consider myself a drinker. 1. Family history of addiction. 2. Been there. Done that with being wild. 3. I like being in control of myself. 4. It doesn't appeal to me like it used to. 5. It's not a party if it happens every night. My father is an alcoholic. My grandfather was an alcoholic until he went missing. My uncle is a former alcoholic. My friends' relatives were alcoholics. Some of my friends lost their fathers because they drank. I can get depressed enough without drinking alcohol, no need to exacerbate matters. I go to the gym several times a week and alcohol is pretty bad for the muscles. Tastes gross, is expensive, makes you feel like shit, and is extremely bad for you. The better question is, why does anyone drink it?